The first thing we're going to talk about is my favorite subject, which is your marketing strategy. I spoke to two people this week. I'm just, where the hell is it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, I spoke to two people this week, and the common denominator in the conversation was that not only were they not aware of their marketing approach or strategy, but they didn't have one. And I spoke to you about this last time. What I use is one called Simple Mind, not Simple Minds. I know somebody was getting the group last time, they were Googling it, not Simple Minds, just one mind, Simple Mind. And when you go there, you can Google Simple Mind and you'll get the download link to this very free software that you see here on the screen right now. And so, when I talk to people, then I ask them, what is well, first of all, if you ever need to troubleshoot your business, give me a call or email me and we'll schedule an actual webinar to get you going. People are making more money in mortgages today than ever before. And unlike before, today we have our active realtors making up the bulk, probably 85, 90% of our MLOs are active real estate agents with some real estate company somewhere. We really don't care who you're with. As long as you're doing the loans with us and we help you do that, we're good. And I do want to take a moment to recognize, I know I mentioned her a while back, but she keeps popping up on my social media, which is Pat Loyal. She's with Father's Realty. That's her real estate company. She does a great job. And what I like about Pat so much is that you're able to see all of the different things that I'm going to talk to you about in her marketing, just on Facebook alone. I don't really follow her on anything else, but just on Facebook, I see her putting up anything from not just the new listings she has, but also the ones that she's closing. And the reason that's so important as a real estate agent is because it validates to people that you know what you're doing. What that says to me, like to most other people, is that if you list your home with her, she'll move it. And and you can see for how much and everything. It's really cool. So I just wanted to take a moment to congratulate her. She's doing really well. And the reason that, of course, I want her to do really well there is because she's also with us on the mortgage side. And so I think that the better you do in one, you're more likely to do better in the other, especially when it comes to real estate and let's just say mortgages. One overlaps the other one, and so on and so on. So I just wanted to throw some kudos her way for a job well done. And I think that we can all learn from her. She leverages the power of video a lot. And again, that's a very good thing because video is here to stay. It means a lot more than anything else out there. And so it's just a matter of you doing it. So anyways, I'll make this real quick. Like I said, I just want to mention a few. This is not everything, but when you have your own simple mind map, which is what I have right now, you can get a better sense of some of the things that you should be doing and also what it is you're doing in that arena. Starting at the top with email clients or agents, meaning that, remember, one source of business for you is retail, meaning clients that are looking to purchase and need a mortgage or looking to refinance. And then another source of business for you has to be other real estate agents with their on-time closing guarantee and other things that we do offer that unless I'm stand to be corrected by Rhett, we have our on-time closing guarantee, which I don't think we've ever paid. I don't know if it's ever been paid right or not, but did we ever have? I can't hear you. Right?
No, we've never had to pay out.
Okay, yeah, we never had to pay it. And so I mean, I don't know why our own mortgage loan originators wouldn't be all over that. When I approach a realtor and I say, look, listen, we offer an on-time closing guarantee that for whatever reason, a loan does not close on time because of us, not because of the appraisal, the title company, or whatever, but because of us, the loan, then we'll pay any per diem or fees or penalties on a daily basis. We'll pay for it. And that's pretty cool to lead with that, or at least reinforce it with that when you're recruiting, like you should always be recruiting actual realtors, not as you being a realtor yourself, but you as just a loan officer helping realtors close more deals. And the on-time closing guarantee means a lot, especially in this hot market that people don't want to wait around forever for a loan to close or take a gamble and go with you when you can't close the deal only to find out that they could have sold it faster with somebody else and so on. You don't want to do that. And so whether it be the emailing of clients or emailing of agents. So my question to you is, what platform are you using for that? And please don't tell me it's your Yahoo email, your Gmail email. What are you using? iContact, Constant Contact. There's, just so many platforms out there that I'm not going to really, pimp one out. I don't care. I think any of them works, but it forces you to continually stay in touch with them. And also the super exciting word that I always use is automate. You can automate your emails for the month of May, which is today, May 1st. So welcome to May. And so you can actually go ahead and load up all your emails for the entirety of May and never have to write them again. on whatever date and time you dictate. The emails go out to everybody, reminding them of the low rates, reminding them of how a seller's market it is. You might have a list just for potential sellers, one for potential buyers, one for homeowners that you want to go after for refis and so on, to be able to do just that. So, again, what platform do you use right now? And please don't tell me Gmail or Yahoo or one of these free email services that are red flagged by every mail server out there that probably blocks 90% of your emails anyway. So that's one thing. Social media is kind of self-explanatory. I will tell you one thing, that with social media, unless you're paying for an audience, or at least you're paying for ads, it's a tough deal, because for whatever reason, most loan officers hang around other loan officers, most realtors follow other realtors, and that's fine. But when you're just posting on social media, it's going to just the audience you don't want to hit. You're going to have to pony up and pay for an exclusive audience of up and comers, new parents, or maybe people that just want to sell or move on or go out of state, whatever the case might be. But social media, do it cautiously, and there are times we just want to reinforce that you're good at what you do, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You can go ahead and do that. Then we're talking about flyers, both physical and digital. I don't remember the last time I used a physical flyer, to be very honest with you. I would say it's probably been like 6 years. But when we're talking about the flyers, they are very important without a doubt, because especially the digital ones you can use as your material for social media. You can use it to reach out to, because we have, as you know, as a matter of fact, let me see if they're here. Let me show you a couple of them right here. Here's one for Pat. Everybody here that's part of in good standing with Radian Mortgage Bank actually gets, in this example, what's called the realtor one. This is something you would email to realtors or post on Facebook, letting realtors know that you can help them, conduct credit checks for the potential buyers, make sure that they bring good offers to the table for their sellers, and so on. And it's self-explanatory. I'm not going to read it to you, but it shows you, just talks about you as an MLO. You got your NMLS ID number, email, cell phone number, or contact number, I should say, and all the corporate stuff that has to be on the flyer, which is pretty cool. We give it to you for those that are, of course, with Radiant and licensed and all that good stuff, sponsored for free. We also have others that we do for home ownership workshops. We work with churches. I'm not going to get into too much. That's a marketing webinar. But I will tell you right now, churches are hurting, especially small to medium-sized ones like never before. They've been closed for a good portion of the year. And just the other day, I was watching the news. There was a fire that burned part of the church, and it was started by a group of homeless people that were living on the parking lot of the church, but the church was abandoned because of the pandemic. And so it was a heartbreak, because it was a beautiful little church, community church, gone. If they can rent it out now without the fire damage, imagine now. And so I'm not going to get into this, but I will tell you that I just had an agent of mine on the other side on the financial services come back from Idaho with, I think, something like 6 or 8 deals closed transactions. And so it was so worth it that he flew from San Diego to Idaho and back. And so I'm telling you right now, it's something that we can help you out with as well. And then we have what we call the retail flyer, which is just that. It's intended for retail clients. So when you're talking to somebody, post this on your social media, email it to them, whatever you do, it's digital. So this is something that you can use. This is actually Pat's as well. And this is, once again, with her as a retail loan officer, not as a realtor, nothing, anything else other than just that. And so anyways, going back to what I was talking about, that there's definitely a lot of other things to do. So those are some of the digital flyers, if you would, that I'm talking to you, that I don't believe in physical ones, because I think people would just chuck them and not worth the ink. They're too expensive to print to just do that. Also, part of your marketing has to lead by giving, which is, in my opinion, the most important element. Giveaways are my favorite. Again, they're opening up again, whether it be a church giveaway, whether it be we do a lot of backpack giveaways, school supplies giveaways with schools. And they also allow you that if you do have something physical you want to leave behind, you could do that. You saw a picture here, and I'm going to go back to it right here. This is one through RAT, as a matter of fact, that we did. And Brian was there, and what you see here on the screen is an example of one of the sports equipment giveaways for this one particular school. But if you're a marketer, you understand that not only are you doing the right thing by helping these kids out with the sports equipment, but there's also a rich market in the room, whether it be law enforcement, police officers. They're the ones that qualify for what we're looking for, which are buyers and also clients of refinances. We're talking about teachers. We're talking about the principal Now, how much you get out of it's up to you. Now we got, like with Red, he just went in there to give, and that's exactly what he did. He walked away, or he walked out of there when we were done. That's cool. If that's all you want to do, that's a nice thing to do. But also, it's nice to know that if you wanted to, you can leave something in the teacher's boxes. I guarantee you the principal will have no problem whatsoever. You can do another giveaway for the staff. You can just simply, I love staff meetings. It's what I do, which they hold every week in school districts. And so therefore, I personally live for groups of people. Select masses of people is what I market to. And you can do just that as well, which is something that, again, can help you tremendously. Or postcards. Now, I have postcards, and I actually threw away about 1,000 postcards that I had left, just because the only time I ever used the postcards were as a Hail Mary. If I go to a church, let's just say if I go to a church, or if I go to a staff meeting, whether it be with teachers or with police officers, and I do my dog and pony show, and I show them the importance of home ownership, blah, 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 and I pass out my appointment cards, and they fill out the appointment cards, then I collect the appointment cards, and I have nothing left to do. As a Hail Mary, I'll leave the postcards behind, but I found that most of the time they're thrown away. It is a good thing to leave. It is a good thing to leave in, let's just say, teachers' boxes would be an example of that. Let me go ahead and just, for this. Here, let me just mute everybody to be safe. Don't worry about it. And you can unmute yourself. Now, please do me a huge favor. Unmute yourself as we go, because I'm not going to come back full circle again. So at any time you have any questions about anything, just unmute yourself and jump in. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions anybody might have. And so, like I said, the postcards are my last ditch effort. That it's just what I call throwaway marketing that I have zero hope for. It's just great if they do, too bad if they don't. And then we get to the advocates, and that's where the fun parts began. Because with advocates, you start dealing with, let's just say, the giveaways. You go do a giveaway at a school, a church, and then you need some help. And you go back to the principal that you helped out, or the pastor or the priest or whoever you helped out. Now they're not your friends, they're advocates. They will go out of their way to help you out. And we have a whole church campaign that I'm not going to get into. They'll talk about here in just 1 second as well. Network, self-explanatory. You have a network around you of people that want you to succeed, because they win when you win, whether it be an escrow officer, whether it be this. Everybody hits them up. But it's usually the squeaky wheel that gets the oil, meaning the one that has the best relationship with that person. So it would behoove you to, again, take charge of your network, take inventory of your network, and leverage your network as well. Then I move on to the specialized markets, which includes the churches, which includes the police departments. And here, when we're talking about specialized markets, they're not to be confused with the giveaways. Now, it could start as a giveaway and end up being a specialized market, which is what I specialize for the last 20 years, whether it be police, whether it be teachers. We've done millions and millions and millions in business with specialized markets. I just had a friend of mine who's one of my agents on the other side of the house right now fly back from Idaho, and he did really, really well at a church in Idaho. There was a small, but he ended up with like 7 pieces of business already, which is simply an incredible thing to have, all the way through specialized markets as well. And then home buyer seminars or webinars is what's hot right now, of course, for obvious reasons. That's something that anybody here can do. I think Zoom is free. I pay for it just because I have the added features that I need, but it's nice to know that you can do anything you used to do in person via webinar now, and people know exactly what it is you're trying to talk about and what it means and why they want to be on it. And so if you haven't done or conducted a home buying seminar or webinar, this is the time for you to do this. And so this is just a few, because like I said, there's a couple of subsets underneath. So if you're talking about specialized markets, well, which specialized markets? And so we would open up another little branch under specialized markets called churches, and another one called police, and another one called teachers. And then from there, we would start drilling into actually conducting whatever events you want to conduct within those specialized markets. And so this is just a very rough idea and a very limited. This is for somebody who's interested in mediocre success, because if you wanted to do it hardcore, you would add more branches to this, because you know that not everything works all the time. And you want to make sure that you're prepared more than anything else to be able to do just that. I will tell you that I like specialized markets a lot. I like giveaways a lot. I stay away from things like, or I don't say I stay away, but I control my expectations with things like social media, because most people consume social media just to kill time. They're bored. They have nothing else going on. They're not actively looking for a house or a mortgage or whatever, but at least people in your sphere of influence know what business you're into. And that's where the magic begins to happen. It's more of a referral than it is a social media hit. For social media hits to take place, you need to apply the law of high numbers, meaning you're probably going to have to run an ad. Home ASAP, thank you for the feedback from everybody. We only had one person have an issue with Home ASAP, the platform that I shared with you last week, but that's because he opened it up with 2 different emails. So theoretically, he had 2 accounts going at the same time that they were not showing up. One was not showing up in the other, but it was finally fixed, I think, on Friday. But everybody else, thank you for the feedback. You're going to have to go to something like homeasaplink.com, home, HOMEASAPLINK.com, homeasaplink.com, and it will take you and allow you to open up an account to be able to put a home valuation model on your feedback on your Facebook account. You can run ads from there and a lot of other things that you need. But one of the things that I will tell you is you're going to have to determine what is your approach to your mortgage business. If I was to ask you right now, what is your approach, especially what is it that's working the best for you? And if the answer is, well, nothing's working right now, that's probably because you're not doing enough, or because of the simple fact that you're going at it the wrong way. Maybe one thing is not your thing. I know people that don't like to do giveaways because they're cheap. They just don't like to give anything away. And so therefore they give something away and they expect a tenfold in return, and they don't get it. And they get, all upset, bent out of shape, and they don't do anymore. Well, if it's not your thing, don't do it. But you're going to have to choose something that you can go at it long enough for your efforts to compound. What will that be? I don't know. But if you don't mind me asking, I'll start with Pat. What's your what gives you the best results, Pat? If you don't mind me asking, on mortgages, real estate, doesn't matter. Results are results.
You know what? It's a combination of online advertising and postcard mailers and door knocking. But the key is being consistent. That's it. Just being consistent.
Perfect.
It might seem like things aren't working, but it does take time. So it's just like you said, just you see me all the time, but it's just because I'm consistent. So it's just a combination, but the real key is just being consistent.
Perfect. And I would just have to say amen to that, because one thing that changed my business around forever was when I learned, and not only when I learned, because we've all learned it at some point, but when I really internalized a piece of advice somebody gave me, and that was, you have to give yourself enough time for your efforts to compound. And that's where most realtors, most MLOs fail. They want it now. I paid $200 for that campaign and I got nothing out of it. Obviously it doesn't work. I'm out of here. All right, well then don't let the door hit you in the butt, because if that's the way you see it, you're right. It's all about how you see it. And so I think that, Pat, you're absolutely right that and she said another key thing in there, and that was that it's no one thing. And I couldn't agree with you more. If you would ask me what works the best for me, I couldn't tell you, because the way I do it is I take my results. Some come from here, from police, from all over the place, from ads on Facebook. I get I don't know if I had a couple of gentlemen. Joel was his name, one of them, as a matter of fact, that I spoke to him this week. I don't know if he's on, but this week I spoke to a few people. Like I speak to people every week from a video on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I'm about to upload a new one here real soon. And with, I talk to, so if I want to build a team, all I know is that I have to bring value, because my conversations with people on YouTube, they were looking for something about NMLS or how to get licensed. They're not too sure. They've heard multiple things. And I usually set them straight. And when I do set them straight, meaning that I just tell them the way it's supposed to be, they appreciate it. And then they wondered, hey, where can I get sponsored? What would it take for me to get sponsored by you? And a lot of other things. But the point that I'm making is that I really wouldn't tell you what works the best for me, because I get calls from Facebook. I get calls from Instagram. I get calls from on any given week from YouTube, which works extremely well. I get calls from police officers. I get calls from teachers. But this is a result of years of working this, that one day, like they say, I want to grow up to be like Rhett, where the guy just waits for the damn phone to ring, and all his business is coming to him. People he sold houses to back in the 90s, or people that he sold houses to who now their kids are buying a house or whatever. But unless you pay your dues up front, and that's where 90, 92, 95% of the MLOs and realtors don't do. I was reading an interesting article right now that here in California, there are more realtors and there are listings available on the MLS, which is, incredible, but it's true. I said, I believe that 100%. I believe that 100%. And so therefore, the point that I'm making is that it's so oversaturated with everybody coming to make it big. Everybody's gonna, be the next superstar, and 95% don't make a dollar. And I just don't want to be part of the 95%. I want to be part of the 5%. You want to be part of the 5% and stay there. And I challenge you to be part of the 2%ers that are within that elite group of people. And it starts with understanding and taking to heart what Pat just said. And she said, it's not any one thing, which I couldn't agree with her more. And number two, that she just stays busy. She just stays busy because you never know. This might be the week that the hit comes in from Facebook, or it might be from YouTube, or it might be whatever. And so my recommendation to everybody is what I've noticed nowadays, especially with the younger crowd, they don't care as much like the old days as to your number of closings and how long you've been in the industry. They're looking to see if you're with it, if you're savvy. Do you have a Facebook account, an Instagram account? Do you have something like that they just want to? They will relate to you more through that than all your credentials as a loan originator. And so that's why it's important to be able to do that. And so going back, anybody else, what works for you? Anybody wants to just chime in right now? What works the best for you? Anyone?
Right now, for me, I've just had a few advocates that have been referring me business. My accountant, some of the people I do business with, they've been really thoughtful in reaching out and sending people my way, and that's been a really nice thing for me. Once I got word out that I was doing this, people started jumping in and sending me business, to try to connect with people. So that's been a really nice way to do it for me.
That's pretty cool. I think that's one of that's up there with referrals and advocates. And those are my two favorite ones, because I get a lot of those calls as well, and they say a lot about how people feel about you. And I'll share a short story that I learned a long time ago, that when you first started this business, you have to treat it like you're opening up a restaurant. And what that simply means is that if I open up a restaurant, I'm going to call, let's just say I'm going to call somebody and just simply say, if you're my friend, if you're my neighbor, if you're my accountant, if you're whoever, I'm literally just going to simply say, look, listen, I just opened up a new place. I just want you to come take a look at it, try out the food, take a look at the decor, give me feedback, because if it's something that you like, maybe you can spread the word for me if you see fit. And that's it. Take the pressure off them, take the pressure off you. I just want you to come over to my restaurant and have a free meal. That's really what this is about. And you'll have a lot more success with that than it is by trying to force people or give them a guilt trip that they have to do business with you, or they have to send people, because at the end of the day, nobody has to do a damn thing for you. It's just about you earning that as well. And so that's why I'm telling you, you have to take account of your activities as it relates to your marketing. And a lot of the times you'll be blown away that we are doing a lot. And a lot of the times you'll be blown away that you're not doing a damn thing. And it's unfair to you to expect results or income when you're not putting in the effort. You don't have the game plan, if you would. And that's where the mind map situation that I was referring to comes in. What I'm going to do is let me just wrap it up so I can go ahead and send it over to Rhett. And so, like I said, let me go back to the other one. I actually wanted to do let me go back over here. Here it is. I want to do it via PowerPoint. It looks better. Anyways, and so like I said, this is just an example that, again, if you haven't done so, I would encourage you to just Google Simple Mind with the no S, just Simple Mind, and download it for free and throw it up there so you can kind of give yourself an idea of where you're going, where you're doing the right thing and where you're doing the wrong thing. So you're not, it's not you're a bad person or this, that. It's just that sometimes we're not putting in the effort in the right areas. And so therefore, one of the things I love about an MLO business, if you would, is that if you're not where you want to be, there's only two reasons for it. Either A, you're doing the wrong thing, which the Simple Mind thing will tell you, or you're doing the right thing, but you're not doing enough of it. So if you're telling me you're working the email side with agents and clients, but you're emailing 2-3 people a week, buddy, you're not doing it the right way. You just need to do more of it. And nowadays it's so cool because you can go ahead and buy lists if you don't have the list from anywhere. That's why we get junk calls from people and email junk and all kinds of stuff, because our information is for sale. You can buy it if you wanted to cut corners, but my recommendation is the best to just simply do it organically. Any questions from anybody before I hand it over to Rhett? Please, any questions at all about marketing at all? Anyone? Unmute yourself now, please. As you guys know, my main focus is marketing, and that's what I do, and that's what I stick to. If I ever send you over to Rhett for a technical question, it's because I just don't want to give you the wrong answer. Just like if Rhett gets something to do with marketing, he'll send them to me. So don't ever take that the wrong way. I just want to focus on results for you and focus on results for everybody. And again, we just have to send you to where your highest chances for getting the right answer might come in from. Any questions for me before we wrap it up and give it over to Rhett? Going once, twice?
Well,
All right.
I do have a question
ahead.
in regards of the young gal that made a comment about door knocking. And I know we're limited right now with that. How is that working for her? How is she doing that? Because I know that that's something that we're not allowed yet, which I don't understand why.
Well, that was Pat. So let me go ahead and bring her on board and maybe have her answer that better than I can.
You know what? It's working very well. You're going to get some people that are, homeowners that are going to be skeptical. But what I do is I wear my mask anyway. I do get vaccinated. I'm fully vaccinated and so forth. But what happens as well is when you do the door knocking, a lot of homeowners, they appreciate that because they're being blasted with a lot of social media stuff. And again, as long as you follow the protocol, stay 6 feet apart, wear your mask, go out there, door knock, and just like anything else, some people are not going to like it or, appreciate it. But for the most part, you're going to find that a lot of homeowners do appreciate that. That's just my,
It's just when you run across, I think if you run across with a colleague where they do the same type of business and then they're like, the way sometimes some realtors or M&Ms will, react, it's like there's just too much competition in a sense, and that they would report another agent to say, okay, well, you're not allowed to be doing this. How would you handle a situation like that? Because,
well,
that's where it becomes a little scary, I think.
Well, you know what? You would have to ask your broker because every broker, advises differently. Because I'm my own broker owner. I know what I would do and what I do. But you need to get the advice of your broker. So that's basically it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And-
thank you so much.
And the only thing that I would add to that personally is that I wanted to just, number one, emphasize the fact that, you're probably the wrong people if they're doing that to you, and it's time to maybe consider moving. I mean, or not to tell anybody anything that you're doing, which is kind of defeats the purpose, because being a successful realtor can be a very lonely business, and then just the human nature. People are going to hate the fact that you do something they're not and do that. But my last thing on that would be that this is not a medical advice because I'm not giving you this, but I will tell you this: that the stock of a loan officer or realtor that is fully vaccinated will go up versus one that is not, just because of the fact that whether it be something like Pat said, somebody's fully vaccinated, it's a lot different than somebody who's not door knocking, or just to meet with people, clients, or just to have somebody come let you in their home for a listing appointment on the real estate side, or a 1003 appointment on the market on the mortgage side. And so again, I'm not telling you to get vaccinated. I'm not telling you not to get vaccinated. I'm just telling you the truth that I'm a marketer, and it's a lot easier to market somebody who is fully vaccinated than anything else. I'm telling you right now, if you want to work the police stations, which we're working again, and you're not vaccinated, you're out. Don't even come to me, because I wouldn't. Why go to bat to bring in a guest with me like I always do that's not vaccinated and has their card with them? Why? I wouldn't take on that. For what? I mean, it's your right not to, but at the same time, it's my right to say hell no. And I'm not going to sit there and fight with a sergeant or somebody on your behalf as to why you should be allowed to come into their home when you just don't want to be vaccinated. Everybody probably has seen, if not, you'll see that video of that firefighter in Washington, D.C. They came to a station to give the shots. He said, no, thank you. He passed in it, which is his right. And he ended up being in the ICU in the hospital for a week, and now is out and is still on oxygen, and all of it because, like he said, he just feels so bad that it was so unnecessary. And again, I'm not making it a vaccination or anti-vax thing. I'm just simply saying that, me, for once, I would never even dream of bringing somebody with me, because not that I care, but because I But what I do care is the fact that the chances of me getting somebody into a police station right now or a school that's not vaccinated, the fight's on for the kids and the teachers, and let alone a vendor to come in and just because they don't want to get vaccinated, don't even think about coming with me, because the answer is going to be no. That's not a fight I'm willing to take on. It's not worth it. I mean, I get it. If it's you opened it up and you need help, that's different, because that means they already said yes to you. But I'm not going to go and fight your battle. So don't even ask. And we are doing schools again. We are opening up police again. We're doing a lot of different events in specialized markets. And as always, I welcome the MLOs to come with me to come see how I do it. But if you're not vaccinated, like I said, I just, it's all marketing. I'm not talking about the power of the vaccine or not vaccine. I'm just simply saying this market. When I walk in there, by the way, here's three. Here are our 3 vaccination cards. All just so that makes it that much better than people sitting there worried who the hell you are. That's all I have to say as it relates to that. What I want to do at this point, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Mr. Rhett Stafford. As a matter of fact, he's with us this week. He couldn't be here last week, but this is your chance to again get an update on the mortgage side of the house and ask him anything you want to ask him as well. Rhett, how are you, sir?
Real quick before.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Javier. A couple of things, just real quick. I just posted this morning the new non-QM matrices. This is our in-house program. So we are back to doing non-QM. We're excited about that. We can do everything from just off Fannie to down to a 1-year tax return or a 12-month bank statement. We have a 24-month. These are both personal and business. We also have the investor that doesn't even look at debt ratios, just looks at the property debt servicing. So we're excited about that. These were posted in our Slack general channel. So if you are a loan officer with Radiant Mortgage Bank, you have full access to those matrices. I believe the pricing will be in Lending QB. I don't know when that's going to be fully activated. I will get back to you. I'm going to check on that here in the next few days, and I'll make a posting into the general channel as well. Also, for those of you who are loan officers, you should have, we're really close. I think last week we got a email from Joy saying that they've got the new marketing portal ready to go that will allow you to put into your email signature a link that will take people to your landing page with the branch website, and they will be able to apply online, and that application will drop directly into your Lending QB lead tab. So there, I know they had asked for marketing images. I think the deadline on that was like a week ago or something like that. And so I'm expecting that to be up and running. We are completely revamping our branch website. That will be up and running. I think we had a active date of May 7th or something like that, but I think Travis mentioned that that got delayed a little bit. So I think we're looking at more like the last week of May. That will be a whole new branch website. It will have loan officer landing pages. Again, this is where your portal will be for your, you can send people directly there to do the online application. I don't have any idea what it looks like yet, or exactly how it integrates. I haven't seen it. I'm expecting to see it next week at our partners meeting. I'm thinking they'll probably roll it out to the partners at our partners meeting, and then it will get rolled out to all of you. I think there's my understanding is there's a new loan program coming out. I think Fannie Mae calls it Refi Now. It's designed for low-income borrowers. And as some of you know, probably 10 months ago, 9-10 months ago, Fannie and Freddie came out with what's called an adverse market refinance fee. It automatically added a 0.5 point cost to all refinances across the board. And it was one of the reasons why interest rates went up, is because this is a standard industry-wide that came directly from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. It's actually from FHFA, which is the agency that manages both of those entities. And we just heard last week that they are coming out with they haven't launched it yet, but it's called Refi Now. It's for low to moderate income borrowers, people that are at 80% or less of the median average in income, and it will allow us to refinance them as long as we can lower their interest rate by a 0.5 point. We're not getting hit on the adverse marketing fee anymore on those borrowers on that particular program. So I will get, as that more information becomes available, and as our investors start rolling that out, I will make you aware of it. We'll get the rollout directly from Fannie and Freddie. As most of you already know, we are now direct seller servicers, direct to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. We don't typically send loans directly there because, surprisingly enough, the rates are a little bit worse than most of the other investors. But they will roll it out first. So those the Fannie and Freddie products that are offered in Lending QB, which are listed as HMAC Direct, I think, they'll probably roll out first, and then as the investors add that specific program to their portfolio, that will get into input into Lending QB. And when you click on Refi Now, or it will tell you that it's a Refi Now program, just know that that's for low to moderate income borrowers. That's really all I have. Interest rates were down a little bit over the last, I guess it's been 2 weeks now since I've seen you, but interest rates have come down a little bit. They've settled a little bit. We're seeing FHA back down into 2.5 and under. We're seeing conventional at 3 1/8, 3% in some cases. So that's exciting. We've got, I know that a lot of you are realtors and you're having a very difficult time right now. You just got to stick with it. And, it's just very difficult. And like I said, the last time we talked, it's really important that you set good expectations for your buyers. You don't want them getting frustrated. You can get frustrated. We get frustrated all the time. You're out making offers and you're going 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 sometimes over list price, and you're not even getting responses. I get it. I know. It's tough out there, but we just have to make sure that the buyers understand that it may take a while. We're going to do our best, but it may take a while to find you the right property, and you need to be prepared to be willing to pay over list price because everybody else is. as I mentioned to you the last time we talked, I put a deal in escrow that was $50,000 over list price, and the buyer waived appraisal contingency on the offer and agreed to a $40,000 overage if the appraisal came in low. So, it's one thing about waiving an appraisal contingency because you can usually almost always get out of a contract one way or another. But this particular buyer did a 10-day inspection contingency and waived the appraisal contingency altogether and agreed to $40,000. So it's nuts. It's insane out there. And that your buyers don't necessarily understand that. They may have heard it. They may have been told that. You need to make sure they understand it, that their expectations are in line with how long it may actually take and what may be required of them. On the real estate side, some of you may know the Department of Justice is looking at real estate commissions right now. Not sure how that's going to all play out. Just one more reason why it's important to have a secondary revenue stream such as Radiant Mortgage Bank in your pocket, because the people in there's a story, and I'll end with this, but there's a grandfather who takes his little grandson fishing. The grandson's 6 or 7 years old, and they're sitting by the side of the lake, and grandpa's fishing, and the grandson is spending more time watching the bucket of crawdads that the grandfather is using for bait. And he keeps yelling. He said, Granddad, the crawdads are going to get out. And the granddad keeps saying, no, they won't, son. Don't worry. Everything's fine. And for a long time, they keep almost getting out, and he screams and he's telling him, and the grandfather's just kind of smiling and said, no, they're fine. Everything's fine. And pretty soon he comes over. He says, son, the reason the crawdads never get out is as soon as one of them almost makes it out, the rest of them will pull him back in and he'll fall back in. So you don't ever have to worry about that. Well, that's a lot like life. And right now, there are people out there that are jealous. Real estate agents, we make a lot of money, and we get paid a lot of money for what some people think is just putting a property on the market, which right now that may be true. Okay. It may be true that all we have to do is put the property on the market and we're good to go. But there's a lot of things involved that those other people don't know. And even though we get paid a lot of money, we only get paid when we close deals. And but there are a lot of other crawdads out there that don't want to see us succeed. And so they're always bitching and moaning about how much we get paid and how much we're charging people, how much of a ripoff it is. And that's part of what's going on right now at the Department of Justice. They're looking at this. They're looking at a couple lawsuits. The good news is National Association of Realtors is one of the biggest lobbyists out there. They've got a huge footprint, and they're doing a lot of work on our behalf. So not sure how this is all going to pan out. But I will tell you that a lot of the future of real estate, this online stuff with Zillow and Redfin and these companies are looking to replace us. They are looking to make it to where you don't need a realtor to buy a home. And you may say that's not possible, but I'm telling you, at some point in time, there's going to be more sales very shortly. I would say there are going to be more sales not using an actual realtor than using realtors. So it's definitely something that we're going to have to look at long term about. We have to stay on the leading edge of technology. That's why it's so great that every week we've got Javier in our corner, because he's always looking. He's always looking at the newest, latest and greatest stuff. He's looking at ways to help us stay relevant, because at the end of the day, if you're going to continue to be in this business, you have to stay relevant. You have to make sure that you're still there. You have the answers. You have the right programs. You have the knowledge and the know-how that you need to keep people engaged and make yourself relevant to them. Make it to where they can't just rather than Google their way into an answer, they want to call Rhett, or they want to call Pat, or Keith, or whoever it may be. They want to call you because they're not getting the Google answer, they're getting the complete answer, the full explanation. So it's important that we stay relevant, and that's what Javier helps us do every week. So thank you, Javier, for all that you do on that, and that's all I have.
Cool. Thank you. Rick, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. What I just want to wrap it up with is follow up with Red. I'm with Red 100% of that. I think that, just like he said, this will happen sooner rather than later. I think selling a house and a lot of that, even to a certain degree, mortgages, has been commoditized, if you would, and commodities are sold on price. The one thing that I will tell you can help you and can help a lot of people by far lies in the personal touch, if you would. And that's something that people will always appreciate, but the question is always at what cost? And I think that that's just my personal thought. So it definitely behooves you to get on board with this. Having said that, I've got a couple of questions. Number one, Michael, I will call you. I have a webinar after this, so it'll have to be later on today. I can't do it after this. I have a webinar right now. And also in regards to somebody's requesting flyers, how can they get the flyers that I'm mentioning to you, that I mentioned earlier? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we're talking about what you should see on the screen right now. This is what we call, let's see, which was this? This is the realtor one, because it says realtors at the top. Also, this is the church camp fundraiser, and this is what we call retail. Now, I don't print them out personally, but I use them on social media. And somebody's asked me how they can go ahead and do that, get those. If you are licensed and you are with Radiant Mortgage Bank, very important that you can go to rmblinks.com. I just went ahead and send a message to everybody, the marketing flyers. But here's what I would encourage you to do before you email or request your forms. Go to your email service and Google, because more than likely we've sent them to you in the past. If you don't intend to use them all the time, don't request them. They take too much work. This is actually the last time we do them for free. It just takes too much time for people that just don't use them at all. But 99% of the people, when they fill out the form requesting their marketing flyers, I just simply go back to my email, find the last email I sent them 5-6 months ago with the attached flyer that they never even bothered to download from the email, let alone use it, and just resend the same exact email. Say, here you go again. And don't be that person. If you need it, by all means, request it. It is free, but don't be that person that's just going to request it because you want to make yourself feel like you're doing something. If you've had them in the past and didn't use them, you're probably not going to use them this time around anyways. But if there's a change in your mindset or a change in anything, then request it. You will get it over the weekend. They are free, 100% free. And that's part of the problem, to be honest with you. But anyways, long story longer, go ahead and request them if you need them. And like I said, just don't be that one person that gets in the business of ordering stuff, because I think our days are numbered as we do business. And so therefore, that 95% is going to start to go down as far as the number of realtors and loan officers and them make a dime, because they're going to start leaving the industry. And I think that only makes the stock of those that are doing okay and good go up even higher. People will always have a need for reassurances, for the human element, the human touch, if you would. And if you're doing good, you're doing good. And so that's why it's so important to hurry up and do that before this bad boy starts to go down, just because I think that it, for a large part, has been commoditized. And like Rhett said, they are right about if you just take the listing, and sit back and watch all the offers come in. That's all you have to do. That is what's going on right now. And I think that that's going to definitely have an impact as to what happens. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I just simply always think the worst is going to happen and act accordingly. And I just get on the ball. What do I have to do to innovate to get myself ahead of the game? And when it comes to marketing, what I'm sharing with you right now are the exact same things you need to do. So if you ever want to do a strategy session where you're at, just hit me up via email or text. Don't call me, email me or text me, but make sure you have your mind map set up already, so we can go in there, and I'll be the very first to tell you, I will troubleshoot it with you, but that incorporates tearing apart your plan. And most times there's no plan. So you're actually doing kind of what you're planning for, which is nothing. And if you are doing it, we're going to see why you're not branching into the other aspects, because as a successful loan originator, just like a realtor, you can't put all your eggs in one basket, because what works for you might not work for me, and what works for me might not work for you. And so the point of it is that you have to definitely go out there and have your hands in multiple marketing approaches, because you'll never know which one's going to work at any given time. Some are seasonal. Like I said, for us, the last year has been very tough when it comes to police, when it comes to teachers. It's opening up again. Here we go. We're going right back in, and we're doing the police, we're doing the teachers, staff meetings once again, and it's a different world we're coming back to, but it's a better one because we have technology on our side. Whether it be the touch-free stuff we talked about last week, which is pretty cool. Has anybody gotten their tags, their tags by any chance? That ordered them? I know I got notified that some had gone out. I don't know if anybody got them yet, but you get your custom QR code. You got to leverage technology, especially touch-free, because I'm telling you, we're going back into a world that didn't exist prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. Questions, comments, concerns from anybody before we wrap it up? Please don't contact me during the week for the link to get your file or your flyers. It's on the screen right now. And if you miss it, go back to the YouTube channel. Don't call me for something that is on YouTube that you just want to save yourself 5 minutes. Don't do that, please. It's on the screen right now. Take a picture of it right now. If you miss it, you don't have a pen, you don't have your phone, then go back to the YouTube channel for Radiant Mortgage Bank and then find it there and do what you have to do to get whatever resources you need. That way Brett can focus on what Brett does best, and I can focus on what I do best as well. Any questions, comments, concerns from anybody? Remember, your time is running out. If you're still under the DRE, you got to switch over to what we used to call the DBO, which is the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. So get that done, because this is one of the last times we'll talk about it. You're just going to get shut off, and you're not going to be able to submit business here at Radiant Mortgage Bank before long. Any questions, comments, or concerns from anybody before we wrap it up? Going once? Going twice? All right. Well, if no one has anything, I just want to say thank you for all that you do and challenge you to make the month of May the best month in the history of your mortgage origination business. And if you need anything from Red or myself as it relates to production, please get with us. That's what we're here for. Order your flyers if you're going to use them, and Google your inbox to make sure you don't just have them already from the last time you requested them. And I look forward to working together with you to make, again, the month of May the best month we've ever had here in the history of Radiant Mortgage Bank for our teammates and for all of us. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.